Coming up on the February 4th edition of Sports Extra, the UNC women took down top-ranked Notre Dame a week ago. Could they do the same against undefeated NC State on the Pac's home court?
Still feeling the sting of a big home loss to Louisville, could the men's team get its revenge on the road and stay perfect in conference away games?
It's a long time until summer, but the boys of summer are back on the diamond at Boshemer Stadium.
All that and so much more, Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Media and Journalism, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics. This is Sports Extra.
Welcome to the February 4th edition, post-Super Bowl edition of Sports Extra. I'm Elena Pirtle.
And I'm Jilly Kuhn. Elena, where did you end up watching the Super Bowl?
I was lame. I had a good bit of homework. I ended up watching it on my couch with my roommates. How about you?
I did actually the exact same thing.
Oh well, what are you going to do? As fun as the Super Bowl was, if you're a UNC fan, it wasn't the most important thing that happened this weekend.
The Carolina women's basketball team is on a roll. 3 quality wins in a row, including an upset against top-ranked Notre Dame 1 week ago. To keep that streak alive, the Heels would need to beat undefeated and 7th-ranked NC State in Raleigh on Sunday afternoon. The Heels strike first with this layup by Janelle Bailey. She finished with 16 points and 13 rebounds and was an important inside presence. The teams traded baskets throughout the first half, with State taking a 1-point lead into the locker room. The Heels made their move in the third period with this 3 by Stephanie Watts and 2 tough shots by Paris Key. Key was on fire yesterday. Heels led by 10 going into the final period. State tried to make a move, including these 2 threes by Aislinn Koenig and Kiara Leslie. But the Wolfpack comeback would fall short. The Heels hold on to get the huge upset at previously undefeated NC State, 64-51. And not only are we going to break down the performance of the men this week, we want to spotlight the high-flying women. And to do that, we have Keaton Epperly in studio.
Jilly, after clinching a monumental upset against formerly ranked #1 Notre Dame last Sunday, redshirt junior Stephanie Watts said that the Tar Heels are a better team than what their record shows. And following UNC's victory on Sunday against NC State, which was the nation's last unbeaten team, I'm starting to believe her. How have the Tar Heels been able to be so successful during the sudden 4-game winning streak? Well, the answer is simple. UNC's effective 1-2 punch, Paris Key and Stephanie Watts. The tandem has been outstanding during this span, with Key averaging about 25.5 points per game, with Watts pouring on about 18.5 points per contest. Each has shot about 48% from the field, as well as being absolutely red hot from behind the 3-point arc. This team is playing itself into the tournament. Jilly?
Keaton, we appreciate your insight.
And now we have someone who may be able to tell us a little bit more about the success of this team, Naismith Hall of Famer Sylvia Hatchell. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure to be here with you guys.
First of all, congratulations on not only beating NC State, but also Notre Dame last week. Where has this sudden burst of success come from?
Well, we're finally healthy, and we've had enough time to put everything together. So we called it our Wow Week.
And what can you say about the individual performance of Paris Key and Stephanie Watts?
Well, Paris is our only senior, and she's at point guard, and she has done a tremendous job leading this team. And then Stephanie Watts is finally back from a really, really bad injury. She was out for 1.5 years, and so she's found her niche, and just everybody, just a great team effort.
Awesome. And Coach, finally, we talked to you last semester and you said that this team could shock some people come March. They're shocking people now. What do you expect going into the postseason?
Well, I expect to keep it rolling. We can't have any letdowns because we're not going to surprise a lot of people anymore. But I knew this team had it in them, and we had at least one more level, maybe 2 that they could reach. And I'm just glad that we're healthy and that we're taking advantage of the opportunities that we now have.
Sylvia Hatchell coming off 2 top 10 wins in a week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The most important thing this weekend was the men's basketball team getting revenge on Louisville for that 21-point beatdown 2 weeks ago. The Tar Heels opened the game with a series of inside buckets and this beautiful alley-oop play from 7th Woods to Garrison Brooks. Cam Johnson rolls around the screen and hits the mid-range jumper to put the Heels up by 3. This tough Luke May putback and one finish gave the Heels a 2-possession lead that they stretched out and never lost. Brooks started the second half with a tough and one putback of his own. Luke May delivers a beautiful pass to set up this dagger 3 from the corner from Cam Johnson. Johnson finished the game with 19 points and 10 rebounds. Brooks continued his dominance in the paint with this follow-up of his own miss. Luke May capped off his 20-point 11 rebound performance with this 3 from the top of the key. Tar Heels were able to complete their revenge mission with a 10-point victory against the Cardinals.
You go back and go back to that game, and the big thing that everybody was pointing out was preparation. I think our preparation as of late, not just this game, but every game has been great. Getting into practice, they've actually been telling us, go out there and play like you do in practice, and we'll be okay. I think we did a great job of that today, preparation-wise, and we're just ready to play more this game than when we're at home.
You guys.
Tar Heel fans are definitely grateful to have avenged that horrible loss to Louisville 3 weeks ago, and we have basketball analyst Mallory Marks here in the studio a little bit more for us and to look ahead at tomorrow night's game against the Wolfpack. Mallory?
Elena, the Heels showed up to this game. I think UNC fans were biting their nails a little before this one, but it's official, they're back. Not only did they completely dominate rebounding, but Luke May made an outright 180 from the way he played against Georgia Tech. And I know that has a lot of people breathing a huge sigh of relief. Let's take a look at how it all went down. This game was all about rebounding. When Louisville destroyed the Heels at home a few weeks ago, they out-rebounded the Heels by 9. This time around, UNC said, no, that's not happening again, and dominated the boards 49-32 with 18 offensive rebounds. I have to say, the rebounding margin was the game right there. Sure, you have 4 players in double figures, and that's great, that's huge, but you don't get that without those second chance opportunities. So I have to say, if the Heels dominate the boards like that the rest of the season, they could be lethal. And we obviously have to talk about Luke May. Coming off probably his worst game in history against Georgia Tech, we weren't sure what kind of Luke we'd get, but oh boy, did we get good Luke. May put up 20 points and decided he wasn't going to throw the ball away every time he touched it. The Heels had only 2 turnovers in the second half, big improvement from the past few games. He shot only 7 for 18, which isn't great, but hey, I'll take that instead of 5 turnovers any day. So now the Heels are on a hot 5-game win streak, but tomorrow night's a big game. No, not because it's a rivalry, it's not, but because it's yet another conference game, and NC State is coming off a painful loss, scoring only 24 points in its game Saturday against Virginia Tech. So the Pack is going to be out for blood, and it's not going to be a walk in the park for the Heels. Junior guard Markel Johnson is who UNC will have to watch out for. He has a dangerously accurate shot both within the paint and from behind the arc. He got into foul trouble in the previous matchup, and if that happens again, it would sure help UNC. May also can't have one of his off days. It's definitely going to be a battle, but I have to give this one to the Heels.
The Heels are going for their 6th win in a row tomorrow night. That's basketball analyst Mallory Marks. Thanks, Mallory. We see many versions of Roy Williams. Cutting down the nets Roy, trying to tear suit jacket in half Roy, taking the glasses off Roy, and today, run it back Roy. In ACC games, Williams consistently performs better after seeing a team one time. When Roy runs it back, he holds a 70-24 record since joining Carolina in 2004. That's good for 74.5 win percentage on the second affair. His next attempt to run it back will be Tuesday against little brother NC State, which is currently experiencing sad days following an abysmal performance against Virginia Tech. We've shown you a lot of highlights with a lot more to come, and of course you'll want to check us out regularly for that. In addition, you can watch scores of Tar Heel sports events live starting in August when the ACC network rolls out fully. Cambria Haro has an update.
Inside the Dean Dome, where Carolina basketball tradition runs deep, if you search long enough, you'll find a small room. Barely big enough to house all of the Heels trophies. And as Assistant Athletic Director Ken Cleary tells me, these guys are doing great work under trying circumstances.
The other night we produced the broadcast for ACC Network in addition to the video board show for the video boards here in the Smith Center, all out of one control room. And so that was mostly organized chaos, some just plain chaos.
Well, the chaos is coming to an end because these guys will get a Dean Dome of their own, a 13,000 square foot media and communication center to support this year's launch of the ACC network.
That building will have 3 control rooms. It will also have about a 1,200 square foot studio that we could do studio shows from. We could do big giant green screen wall that we can do lots of augmented reality, virtual reality kind of stuff, as well as just traditional sort of photo shoots and video shoots with our student athletes. We're hoping that that building will become sort of a powerhouse of creativity, both for the ACC network and then for other digital, social, and communications content that we'll produce to help tell the story of Carolina athletics.
With a state-of-the-art facility like this, Wasserman Media Group Managing Executive Dean Jordan promises to deliver content to fans like never before.
This will be the most technologically advanced network when it launches. There's going to be some unique game production techniques that I think people will really enjoy.
Not only is this project beneficial for fans, athletes, and schools, but also students aspiring to work in television.
The jobs are happening right here in these kinds of ways. And it's a great training opportunity for students to learn how to produce a broadcast or be a technical director and run the switch on the air or any of those ways.
Even now, students are learning in this small room, but a bigger building means more space and more students.
I'm super excited about August of 2019 when the ACC network is here and we've got a control room full of students that are producing content for us, and Carolina's continuing to win national championships.
And this facility is already a win for Carolina. I'm Cambria Haro reporting.
The ACC network's formal launch is August 22nd.
Basketball isn't the only b-ball sport that's in action.
Baseball is back. Stick with us to see the Heels step onto the diamond for the first time this year.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
They call it America's favorite pastime, and it's back in session. That's right, baseball is back, and we'd be lying if we told you that we aren't excited. So, what's the only thing better than watching the UNC baseball team play? Watching 2 UNC baseball teams play. The Diamond Heels held a team scrimmage on Friday at Boshamer Stadium as they prep for a new season. Both teams came out swinging with the game tied at 2 after the first inning. 6 different pitchers took the mound. Preseason All-American Michael Bush finished with 2-5 with 2 runs scored, but his efforts weren't enough to keep up with the Blue offense. Led by 2 RBIs from Dylan Harris, the Blue team leaped past Navy to win 11-6. The 2 squads split scrimmages 2 and 3.
To win at lacrosse, you have to score a lot of goals. The Heels put the ball in the net early and often against their first opponent of the season, the Mercer Bears. UNC smashed Mercer 20-9 on Saturday. The Heels attacked non-stop, outshooting the Bears 55-35. Captain Justin Anderson led the team with 3 goals. Tanner Cook had 2 goals and a career-high 3 assists. The Tar Heels will be at home Saturday against Furman. Alumni of the women's lacrosse team came home this weekend and learned a very valuable lesson. Don't mess with this version of UNC women's lacrosse because the team is fired up and ready for action. Players like Katie Hogue and Elizabeth Hillman scored amazing goals, which led to their monster victory 22-11. However, don't think for 1 second that the alumni didn't come to play. They attacked and answered with numerous goals, keeping the game pretty close all the way to halftime. That just wasn't enough though. Olivia Ferrocci and her teammates played with amazing chemistry all afternoon, leading to many fluid passes and goals. Katie Hogue is ready to get the season started for real.
Because, I mean, under high pressure moments, you come into the season, and like I said before, you're just super hungry and you're just ready to get back out there and to share that passion with the freshmen.
The newcomers are working in with the seasoned players to make for a potent offense. The Heels' first game is at home Saturday against James Madison.
UNC Gymnastics strong performance against Temple and Pitt Friday night. Junior Kazia Hislop had wonderful routines, placing first in all the events she competed in. She scored 9.9 on-floor exercise. Let's take a look at it again. What a beautiful landing. And check out Michaela Robinson. This was her season high score, 9.825, also on floor. She was named the East Atlantic Gymnastics League Specialist of the Week. The Tar Heels finished second in Pittsburgh, just 0.15 hundredths of a point behind Temple. The Lady Heels will look to grab first place when they take on Towson on February 9th.
Athletes preach it. If you give your blood, sweat, and tears to the game, it will pay off.
This athletic trainer overcome illness to do what he loves. Stay tuned to see more.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
The track and field team ran into the weekend, hoping to set some quick times at the Camel City Invitational. Enter Morgan Isle. Isle ran the 5th fastest 3,000 meter time in the nation, just over 9 minutes and 8 seconds. Isle's performance was the 3rd best collegiate time of the day, 2nd best time in the ACC this season, and her 3rd ACC Indoor Championship qualifying time after just 3 appearances. The Tar Heels also took part in the Doc Hill meet at Virginia Tech this weekend. On Friday, Isaiah Palmer set a PR in the men's 400 meter. On Saturday, Emerson Porter set her PR of 3.88 meters in the women's pole vault. Daniel MacArthur's 19.03 meter throw won the men's shot put, and McKinley McNeil set her career best in the 200 meter, coming in at 24.36 seconds.
The Tar Heels wrestling team is up to number 17 in the country and had a dominant win against Bucknell on Friday night. In the 149-pound weight class, number 4 Austin O'Connor helped secure the team's 31-6 win with his 2nd period pin in just 14 seconds, his 24th win of the season. Despite O'Connor's striking performance, the highlight of the match was Josh McClure's upset of number 10 Zach Hartman at 157 pounds. He scored a takedown with less than 25 seconds to go. Number 14 Chip Ness continued the fireworks for the Tar Heels with a pin at 184 pounds, padding the UNC advantage. Closing out the night for the team was a major decision at 285 pounds by Corey Daniel. UNC wrestled number 13 Pittsburgh on Saturday. Freshman Joe Heelman put up an impressive win to start the meet, grabbing a 12-3 decision. UNC and Pitt split decisions throughout the meet until the final deciding match when redshirt senior Corey Daniel took a 7-5 decision over the number 13th ranked Demetrius Thomas for a huge 19-16 upset victory. The Heels hope to keep the momentum going when they take down Virginia Tech on Friday at home.
The men's and women's tennis teams were in action this weekend, hoping to serve up some dubs just prior to competing in the ITA Indoor Championships. The number 3 ranked UNC women's team made a statement on Saturday, beating number 2 ranked Vanderbilt. UNC stayed undefeated in doubles this season and took 4 singles matches for the 5-2 win. The Heels should be rated at least second going into the championship this weekend in Seattle. The men's team fell 5-2 to undefeated Texas in Austin. Junior William Bloomberg upset number 4 ranked Christian Sigsgaard. Simon Sondergaard also won his match on court 6. The Heels travel to Illinois on Saturday. Their indoor championship is the following weekend.
To lead a workout, you have to be able to work out yourself. Carolina Boyer introduces a local exercise guru who was unsure she'd ever be able to direct an exercise session again.
Those who regularly walk through the doors of Pure Velo know that studio manager Janie Joyosa will greet them with a shining smile. Many think of her as a killer fitness instructor and an amazing woman, but not everyone knows her full story.
I was diagnosed with a uterine sarcoma, which is a tumor in my uterus, when I was 19.
Joyosa's diagnosis came out of the blue in August 2013. 6 rounds of chemo, 7 weeks of radiation, and several surgeries left her unable to do what she loves most, exercise.
I was bedridden, 2 weak, so it really took away what made me me, which was working out.
Despite a relapse at age 24, Joyosa, now 25, is back to 100%, but it didn't happen overnight.
So when I finished treatment about 6 months later, I went back to a bar class and I could barely stand for 10 minutes. I had to sit down, but I did it. But it was, I was at 0, and it was a very defeating feeling.
Now Joyosa exercises for those who can't, because at one point she was the one who couldn't work out.
I remember when I was going through treatment that I would crave a fitness class. I would crave that sweat and that adrenaline, but I physically was not able to do that, and that motivates me to push myself that much further.
She has done that despite 2 battles with cancer. She won both battles and intends to win the war against the disease. In Chapel Hill, I'm Caroline Boyer reporting.
All right, Julie, we got NC State and Carolina tomorrow night. Did you score tickets to the game?
Actually, just got Phase 1 tickets about 2 hours ago, so I'm like super pumped about this game now.
I unfortunately did not get any tickets from anyone, lottery, or a friend. That's going to do it for this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.